Hello guys, welcome to Data Pandit channel. Today we are going to see what is the difference between AWS NAT gateways and AWS NAT instance. So first of all, why we use NAT instance or NAT gateways? So that's the scenarios where we create the virtual private cloud in AWS and we would have public subnet and private subnet. The public subnet could communicate with the internet through internet gateway because it comes by default with the public subnet, and every instances or any services residing in a public instance or public subnet would have access to the internet through internet gateway, but not in the case of private subnet. So why we design private subnet is our secure, sensitive services like database services or any sensitive data or microservices will be residing in private subnet and will not have direct access to the outbound or inbound access to the internet traffic. Okay, wherein in subnet or the services which will be residing in public subnet of the private virtual private cloud would be web application services. They have a different security mechanism altogether, like web application firewall and so on. Okay, and so to get access, the internet access in private subnet, we have mechanisms. There are a couple of alternatives to communicate with the internet traffic. So in one of those is NAT gateway, or another one is NAT instance. NAT stands for network address translation. So we should have some router which, so let's say, see, this is a private subnet and this is public subnet. So we should have some router which route the traffic, which allow the traffic to the internet, and anything which is coming from the internet can route to the private subnet. So this mechanism we need to establish. We will go and create this infrastructure in AWS Management Console in some time. Before that, we are going to check the absolute, the difference between why we use the NAT instance and why we use the NAT gateways, and which cases, which scenarios these two concept and the services of AWS would be uh, used and in an optimized way or in a significant way. So the first difference is availability. So NAT gateway is meant for the services, and it's managed by AWS as it's a part of managed services. So is anything coming on the AWS NAT gateways in terms of traffic bandwidth or number of requests. So it should have scalability and uh, and if anything goes failure, then another availability zone will be there to service the request. So this is the AWS managed, so nothing to worry about in that aspect. But in terms of NAT instance, the user has to manage the failover instances, and the user has to scale in and scale out. The scale in and scale out control would be in the hands of user. Okay. So using the scaling groups, okay. So NAT instance can be serviced on demand. Okay. So bandwidth is so in terms of bandwidth, so this 45 Gbps by default, and I mean it can go up to the 45 Gbps. But in some terms of NAT instance, because it's a separate type of AMI instance type, so depending upon the configuration of the particular NAT instance which has been chosen, so those attributes would be comes with the NAT instance. So maintenance, because it's a managed services NAT gateway, therefore user doesn't have any concern related to maintenance. Okay, but NAT instance is managed by us, managed by user, and anything upgrade or any new version is coming, any software upgrade or hardware upgrade, user has to go to the internet and download the things, and user has to do the things. Performance wise, NAT, because it's NAT gateway is optimized for the services, it's a absolutely dedicated service and managed by AWS. So performance would be in at higher end in NAT gateway. But in terms of Amazon Linux AMI, which is NAT instance, it would depend upon the selected configuration or select chosen machine. Okay. Cost NAT gateways, because it's a overhead less with no overhead, therefore the cost will be at higher end. But in terms of NAT instances, there will be a less charges, and it would depend upon the selected machine and instance type and size of it. Type and size. So NAT gateway comes with a uniform sizing. So it's a kind of absolute optimized services to service the internet routing. But in terms of NAT instance, it's again it will be depending upon the size. So in which scenarios we are going to use NAT instance, and which scenario we are going to use the NAT gateways. So NAT instance, whenever, because it's less costly, so probably we could use in development environment or test environment. But in production environment, so we should use the NAT gateway. Now let's go ahead and see how we configure the infrastructure using NAT instance and NAT gateway. Okay, and see the difference between those. So I'm going to log in the AWS Management Console. Just sign into the console. Okay. Let me select the region as Mumbai, Asia Pacific Mumbai region. First of all, we are going to create a VPC. So I'm in VPC dashboard. So launch VPC wizard. So it will have four options. I'm going to select the first option, which is coming with single public subnet. So let me give the name of my VPC test. So this is my VPC's name, and this is a public subnet IP4 address. I'm going to take in AP South first A availability zone. So each region will have three availability zone in AWS. So I've taken the first A, and anything else would be as it is. Let's create the VPC instance. Okay. So if I go to the dashboard, my VPCs are, this is my VPC. And if I go to a subnet, there would be one public subnet available. Okay. So if you go to the route table of public subnet, so internet gateway will be there in the route table. That means any instance uh, under this public subnet will have a internet access. Okay. Now let's go ahead and create one more subnet, which is private subnet. I would take the VPC as my already created VPC, and subnet name is private subnet. Availability zone, let me take the same. Okay, and the address, I would take the address, let's say, I'm taking this 128 or something. Okay, I'm not going to give any pair and all, just create the subnet. This is my private subnet. You go ahead and see the route table of it. It will not have internet gateway route entry. Okay. Now we have created two subnets. Now let's go ahead and AWS management console, and we'll create quickly the EC2 instances under these subnets. Okay, go to instances. This is EC2 dashboard. Okay, if you don't know how to create, then you can have a look in my playlist of AWS tutorial. So let's launch it. Let me go to the free tier available. I'm going to select first one. Click on next. So I'm going to configure the VPC as my private VPC, my VPC test. Subnet I'm going to take public subnet first of all, and I'm enabling the public IP auto assigning. Okay, I want the publication because I need to log in into this machine. Okay, storage is by default security group, nothing, and launch the instance. I'm going to create the key pair. So this is public EC2. Okay, I'm going to download the key, PAM key. So I will convert it to the PPK key, and then we will log in after creation of the machine. Okay, so this has been done. So this machine I label it as a public EC2 machine. Okay, this public EC2 machine. Let's come into the running state and state sets as a 2 by 2. So let's create one more instance, which will be in the private subnet. Let's go ahead and create in the same VPC and in the private subnet. Okay, I'm not going to enable the pub public IP in this case because I need to make is a private. Okay, I would create a new key pair for my private instance. This is private EC2. Okay, I'm going to download the key pair because we would need this key while launching the private EC2 instance from the public EC2 instance. So this is my private EC2 instance. So let me go to the dashboard. Then I will have two machines running. Okay, let's wait for it. It will come back. Meanwhile, we will go to the Puttygen. So first Puttygen, we will launch the Puttygen. So Puttygen is used to convert the PAM key into the PPK key. Okay, let's load the public PAM key. So this is okay. So I need to give the password. So I'm going to load it. Sorry, I'm just load the public key. Okay, I'm going to give a password. So I give the password and then I need to save the key. Okay, so it will ask for the name. So I will give the public EC2 PPK. Okay, this is my name of the key. So let's log into the machine using the putty. Okay, let's go ahead and create the connection. So I have to authorize it first. Okay, well, to get the authorization, I need the PPK key and I need to allow agent forwarding. Okay, now go to the session and I would need the public address. So this is my public address of the public machine. Okay, I would need to give it here and I would need to give the SCC2 hyphen user is the username and my password which I have given while creating the PPK key. So now we are in the, if you check the machine, we are in the machine and the host name we could check like this. So this is in our public EC2 instance in public subnet. Okay. under the same virtual private cloud. So this is our EC2 instance. So now let's go ahead and see whether I am able to connect to the internet or not. Google.com. See, I am able to connect and I am able to pass the bytes. Okay, let's come out. Now let's log into the private EC2 instance and see how we can access. So let me see. Yeah, it's still happening. So by meantime, I would need this address and also the private PPK key. Okay. So I will just copy, open the private EC2 PAM key and copy. And you have to create this file name here, private ec2.pem. Okay. So I'm just the editor and saved it. Let's see what are the permissions are coming. So I need to give chmod 600. I need to make the key as secure. Now we will have to log in into the our private machine using this EC2 hyphen user at the rate of. So let's go and see. So I need DNS. So in the case of login into the private instances, I would need a private IP for DNS address. Okay. Username will remain as same. EC2 user, if you want to see what are the username rates. So in both the cases, you have to go to the connect and see this is username is EC2 user by default. Okay. Now, now this let's open it and I will just copy the DNS address. So what you have to do is SSH-I private PAM key of the private EC2 instance and EC2 user at the rate of my DNS address. Okay, now it's asking for yes or no, then yes. So we have from 10.0.0.35 to we went into 10.0.1.6. So if you look at the addresses, see 10.0.1.6, this is a private machine address. Okay, so let's go ahead and see whether my internet is working or not. I mean, we are able to connect or not. See, so this command I have run ping google.com is nothing is happening. Therefore, it means we are not able to connect. So what is the way? Way is NAT instance. So we are going to create the NAT instance now. So let's go ahead and go to the EC2 dashboard, EC2 instance and create the. So how we will create the EC2 instance? Same way. But one difference is you need to go to the community AMI and you need to search the NAT and so you take the first machine, select it. It's a free tier available, then configure it. So here you have to configure with very carefully. So we are going to create our NAT instance in public subnet because anything which would let's switch over to the documents. Anything which requires the internet access should be available or should be comes through the public address. Okay, public path. That means okay. So we are going to create them, and I mean adding the auto sign or public IP. Okay. So now adding the storage, we are not doing anything specific here. So just go ahead and see. Now this is important thing. So at the security group, we want to allow the traffic, whichever traffic is coming in. I mean, what traffic we are allowing. So we are going to allow the internet traffic. I'm not going to access in the machine, NAT instance machine. So I'm just going to the internet traffic. Okay, HTTP is my first HTTP, and now this machine would be public subnet address. Okay, so sorry, private subnet address. My machine address is this one. So I will just copy it. I can copy like this and paste it over here. Again, I have HTTPS. Okay, HTTPS. So this is 440 port, and the same way I need to So now review and launch. I'll just give key pair. I'm not going to launch it, but just give the NAT instance key pair. Okay, download and launch it. So this key would be or can be used while logging into the NAT instance. So this will be a image, right? Machine image like any other EC2 instance. So we could go and log in. So our instance has come. Go to the dashboard. I'm going to name it as a NAT instance. Okay, NAT instance. I'm saving it as NAT instance. Okay. First thing you need to do is you just select it, and we have to modify this networking rules for this instance, which is change the source and destination. By default, it all checks the incoming traffic and outgoing traffic, but we don't want to check specifically. Okay, so we are just allowing everything to pass through. We will control the mechanism from the VPC level. So init instance is getting come in running state and state sec is initialized. So it will take a few minutes to come in live. Okay. So meanwhile, what we can do is so yeah. So our EC2 init instance is done. Okay, under the VPC. Let's go to the VPC AWS management console. Log back in. I would go to the VPC dashboard. It's taking a while. Okay. So let me see what is there in our VPCs. So we have one VPC. Under that we have two subnets. And we now, because we have created the NAT instance, we need to create the route table. Okay, so let's create the route table first. Name it as a NAT instance RT. VPC would be our, whichever VPCs we have just created, right? My VPC test. So I'm just creating. Okay, so my route table has been created. So now I have to add the routes. I need to add the route. What is that? It's internet destination is 0.0.0.0 public 0. Okay, so what is there in that target is, so our public private instance target would be NAT instance, right? So that NAT instance, and I'm going to give the this machine address. Okay, so let's save it. So what happened is my route table, I have created the route table and it is linked to the NAT instance, okay, through the public, through the internet traffic 0.0. So everything which is coming from the internet is called as 0.0.0.0. Okay. So I have created the entry. Now go to the subnets. So as of now, we don't have any internet gateway or anything. So now I have to edit it and NAT instance. Okay. So I have created this route table, right? RT. So I need to select that and save it. See now. So if you take the route table, you would have the entry of the NAT instance. Okay. So this will make the way to the internet. Okay. Now go to the PuTTY. So we are in the public, isn't it? So go to the ping google.com. Still it is not coming. So I think something is missing. I think whatever is missing, we can go ahead and C. Okay. So whichever, let me go to the EC2 instances, my instances. So see, everything is up and running. Now I have to go to the security section of it. Okay. So we have a securities available for TCP, TCP, HTTP or HTTPS. Okay. So let's open the security group and edit the rules. Okay. So I think ICMP has to be enabled for the same public subnet ICMP or IPv4. Okay. For all the traffic custom and the address is same, right? I think I have copied and 10.2 same public, okay? Same public subnet address is there, 10.0.1.0. This rule needs to be set actually, edit in one rule. So, okay. So I'm saving this. Let's go to the outbound. Where we doing in the security group? This security group is related to the NAT instance, okay? So I think here we don't need it. So I think because all the traffic is available now, I think it should be available. Let's see, I think it's started. So the internet is started. So okay, see this is 10.0.1.6, and if you want to verify it, go to the EC2 instances. This is EC2 instances. This is private instances, and this is 10.0. Okay, and if we exit it, so this is my public machine is always have a internet access. Okay, I'm just going to the private again, and let's see. Okay, okay, PINZ. So everything is working fine. Now, so let's summarize it. What we have done is, first of all, we created the VPC with the public subnet, and then we added one more subnet, private subnet inside that, because we need this structure. Okay. Then I have created the EC2 public EC2 instance using this public subnet and private EC2 instance using this one. Then we tried logging in. We could log in to the internet from the public subnet and public EC2 instance, but we could not do using the private because it didn't have the internet access, or there is no router available for the internet. Then again we created the NAT instance, and we created the route table, and in the route table we configured the our EC2 NAT instance, and that NAT instance and that route table we have added into the our private subnet. Okay, you remember this one? Okay, route table, this EC2 instance. Okay, this is my route network interface. Okay, if I look at the route table, so this is my route table, NAT instance RT. Okay, so after that, what we have done is, after that we could log in into the google.com. Okay, so that it's a access is there. Okay, so with that, I think I have completed the hands-on. Okay, so now NAT gateways. Okay, so if you want to create the NAT gadget, what you need to do is, let's go to the VPC dashboard, and NAT gateways comes with a different cost. It's not a free at all. So what you need to do is, you go launch the VPC wizard, go to the VPC with public and private subnet. So both the subnets will be created, and what you need to do is go to select, then give the VPC name, and here you need to give the elastic IP address. Okay, so first you need to create the elastic IP address, and then it will start coming here. Okay, and you need to create the VPC. So in that way you would have, access to the internet through the NAT gateway. You see NAT gateway rate supply, so you can go ahead and see what are the different charger available, you know. So Amazon VPC pricing, so you can go ahead and see the charges of NAT gateway. Okay. In that way, you can create. If you don't know how to create the elastic IP addresses, you can go and see my initial tutorial session in the Ab initio tutorials. Okay. So it's a simple. Go to the this one EC2 instance dashboard and see this. This issue dashboard see, and you will have a elastic IP. Okay. Now we need to remove all the resources that I will remove. Need to go to the every dashboard. Mostly, we have created the instances in EC2 dashboard and VPC dashboard. Okay, so everywhere you go ahead and remove whichever you have created. Okay, so first I will remove the instances. Okay, these EC2 instances or NAT instances. So terminate it so that you won't incur any charges. So just terminate it. They are going to terminate. Okay, and go to the dashboard and see what happened here. So I think key pairs are there, so I'll just remove these key pairs. Okay, just click on delete. This will be deleted. Same way you go to the VPC and first you remove the route table. Okay, you select the route table and remove it, and then you go to the subnet, you remove your both the subnet, and then you go to the VPC and remove the VPC. So that's I'm going to do. Now with that, thank you so much.